September 11th, 1973. So I'm not sure where you are. September 11th, Are you at Gorham? Lorna, dumb me. Oh, no. Dumb Maine history. I've been here for an hour, can't stand it. I sent Nancy this really strange letter. I didn't mean for it to be strange, but it ended up that way. I hope she doesn't show it to her mother.
What?
They'll probably think I'm freaking out on something. Sue will be coming to see you this weekend. She's visiting her boyfriend and girlfriends at Orono, so she said she'd stop by. I'm so tired that I can't stand it. 7 a.m. is too early to arise. My little sis is sitting beside me taking avid notes. That must have been
a sorority sister.
What a creep. Food in 10 minutes with an exclamation point. Had our first sorority meeting last night. It was fun. Another girl got engaged. We have a ceremony when someone gets pinned or engaged, and it's kind of a big personal thing. At this rate, it'll never happen to me. 7 more minutes. And you swear after that. I cannot stand it. My head aches, my stomach growls, and that queer professor howls and howls. Oh. He knows Aunt Olive really well, Dad says. I'll end this letter with a recent poem. Oh, that's why I saved this letter. Hand to you just touch the raw heart, dripping with watery red substance. Don't you want to feel for one moment who I am beneath the surface? Can you stand there while I slip and slide into the gutter? Merely another corpse? The least you could do is cover me with a laurel of leaves. Even shriveled dead ones. CLB. P.S. Be proud. Be proud. Be proud.
What?
Be proud.
You can explain the be proud part. Why would you write that poem in a letter to your sister? First of all, I need answers.
Who knows? Who knows? It's
oh my God.
So the be proud. Lynn had a reel-to-reel tape recorder that she got one Christmas with the tiny tapes. And a couple of things about that tape recorder. At Christmas when she got it, we had to immediately use it. And so we were at Grand's, and she made up this whole story that I think you got recorded. Do you still have it recorded? It was I don't even know what the story was about, except a girl in peril. It was
girl in peril is a good description,
but
that's how I saw myself.
She wrote a lot of poems. She had a poem book, and she decided that we needed to read the poems. And so one of the poems that she read was called Be Proud.
Do you remember it?
Be proud. Be proud of yourself. Be brave. For God willing, you'll be saved. But she knows more of it.
I don't remember
from
the rest
this
of it.
hatred
and spite. Something in the night.
Very inspirational. Oh wow.
Uplifting. Lots of uplifting poetry.
Yeah.
But we always
there's not a darkness inside of you.
Nope. We had to always say it very loud. Be proud. Be proud of yourself. Be brave. So that's just
that's where that reference came from.
I love it.
Yeah. So that is
and that's why I would never have been friends with you.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of bad poetry.
Is this a secondary letter from her?
I think she tucked it in September 12th.
Is it worth reading out loud?
No, I don't think so.
You weren't that funny on September 12th.
Oh, yeah. She ends it with, well, kiddo. She doesn't call me kiddo. Gotta go, I guess. Write to me and tell me about your sex life. Your gorgeous comrade and foolery at USM.
Oh my god. I'm gonna change my email signature to that.
Your gorgeous comrade in foolery at USM.
Wow. That is amazing. I'm so happy you guys saved all of this.
Oh, it's awesome. And so,
I'm shocked you never went on like a dating show.
I know it wasn't.
You would have been great on a dating show.
Guys at bars,
Scars.
at college, at work, and you had to be at home to get their phone calls.
Yeah, true. But you had your notebook.
Did have a notebook.
Did you bring
notes? I did not.
You did bring a notebook?
I had so much material.
We got to get Uncle Cam on here too, so you guys can we can have you read. Yeah.
The notebook was a notebook that when we 3 children who were in our 20s were living at home with my parents trying to
3 children
trying to leave messages for each other, and we all thought we were pretty funny.
You all were pretty funny in that.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh, I didn't do a lot of dating.
All of that just to say that Aunt Lorna didn't date as much as you.
Introduce me to people.
Yeah. That was her joy. You could do the work.
Right.
You could and you got to enjoy the gossip. I love
right.
that. That's smart.
Yeah. Yeah. She always had good stories, for sure.
Oh,
Always hysterical.
Did we tell Aunt Lorna what happened in the parking lot today at the
No, you should tell that.
the motel? So I'm getting in the passenger side, putting a bag in for her, and I hear her like opening the trunk to put her suitcase in the trunk, and she goes, "I'm gonna need you to put this in here for me." And then when I turn around to go help her, and there's just a man that was like, "Okay," and he what? And then my mom's like she's like, "Sorry, I was talking to my daughter, not you. Did you think I was talking to you?" And he just went, "I don't know." And they walked off. He put it in the trunk. It's amazing. Oh my god. I'm gonna need you to put this in here for me. I just imagine him thinking
She's walking out of the hotel.
it's like he's also carrying a bunch of bags. He puts them down to help you.
Well, Lynn's not used to putting suitcases in trunks.
Uh-oh.
When we went to Florida when we were, I don't know, how old were we? 14, 15. Went to visit my grandmother in Florida. We have some of that on film, I think.
Yes. Oh, yes, we do.
Doing some sort of routine in the backyard at Granby's. But we came back. We're in Portland, and we've got our suitcases, and Lynn's carrying suitcase. But of course, Lynn doesn't. She leaves
the task.
That's right. That's a good way to put that. Doesn't complete the task. Everybody is in charge of putting something in the trunk. She leaves.
It's winter.
It's winter. She's got to get in the car. You know, she probably doesn't have boots on. So she's
got an impractical shoe on.
Yes. And she's just cold. And she just wants to get in the car and get going. And so she doesn't put my suitcase in the trunk. And we go back.
On purpose. I just thought if I dropped it, the next person put something in the trunk.
Somebody else would be responsible for it. And so
that's you in a nutshell.
Speaking of a nutshell, wasn't there a nutshell in your suitcase that I bought for Cameron?
I think so. There were presents.
A nutshell?
Well, it wasn't a nutshell, but it was.
Was it a coconut?
Yeah, like a coconut. So I guess it'd be like a.
But what I remember about that is I had to make an insurance claim. I was like 13, and what I had in there too was like Tiger Beat. You know them.
Oh yeah,
magazines. It was like a Tiger Beat. Maybe it was that, and it had Bobby Sherman would have been on the.
Oh, we should see if we can find that on eBay. I want to look through that.
Bobby Sherman. Yeah. Bobby Sherman was my John Davidson.
Oh, he wasn't.
I had such a crush on him.
You did,
Bobby
Sherman?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Are we going to talk about your John Davidson
We're gonna make
situation?
That an episode.
Oh, okay. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was embarrassing about that, I had to actually sit with an insurance adjuster
Little suitcase.
for my little suitcase and tell him what was in my suitcase. So I had to say to him, or I felt like I did because I would have to tell him everything that was in there, that I had a bra and underwear.
Oh,
in there.
no.
I remember.
That's embarrassing.
With a male insurance adjuster.
Ugh. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, she was not happy with me.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of pissed for her right now.
Yeah, well, another time we were headed up to camp, the family. We had the station wagon, and we didn't have a vacuum cleaner at camp. So Annie had an Electrolux, which were expensive vacs for the time. And so bring the vacuum cleaner, Lynn. So Dad was backing up the car. Trunk's open, probably. I put the vacuum cleaner behind the car. You didn't to leave. Back up. Oh, crunch.
Oh, no. She must have been so mad at you.
Oh, I think they were able to get it repaired, or whatever. But like, yeah,
oh my! Ozzy must have been mad.
Yeah, I think that was
I
not
just
a good
had a vision. You know, when you talk about the trunk, we have always had station wagons, and Aunt Lynn, your mother, my sister, she spent a lot of time in the way and back.
We were just talking about those yesterday.
She would always, you know, that would be the three kids in the back seat, and Lynn would start something, and so my parents would say,
"That's what you said yesterday. You got sent to the way back."
Yeah, they said that. I just crawl over. Imagine me trying to crawl over the seat.
Lynn, get in the way back.
My dad would be driving sometimes. Maybe this only happened once, but I have a clear memory of it. And he's driving with one hand, and he's hitting whoever's knee is probably mine in the middle. He's hitting me. Like,
yeah. Oh my God.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You got your knees spanked.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel like Ozzy's done that to me before.
He did it to me.
That's so funny. Didn't he throw out... I feel like you've told me this story where someone had a whistle and he took it out of your hand and threw it up.
Yes. Lorna and I were fighting about it. We were on the highway coming back from Chicago, and I had this whistle that... What was special about it?
You put it in your tongue,
and then it made a
annoying
sound.
It would choke you. Really, these days you wouldn't have it. It was some sort of whistle, and she would just, be annoying.
Yeah, a whistle on a road trip is.
And then I think we started fighting over it.
Yeah,
and so he said, "Give me the."
I think it was Annie that threw it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, whoever took it, wound down the window, tossed it out.
That must have felt so good for them.
Yeah,
they're like, get.
Yeah, because their grandparents were on that trip too. That was a crowded little.
I guess so. Oh my God.
Okay, you ready for another one? I'm going to call this guy Harry. I'm just telling that myself, not H-A-R-R-Y.
You're telling that yourself.
But H-A-R-R-Y.
What?
Not H-A-I-R-Y. I'm going to call him Harry.
Oh, thank you. I thought his name might be spelled Harrri.
No, I'm sorry. Again to the audience. So this is sometime in the 70s. I will look super tomorrow. So narcissistic. Lorna told me about this new guy that worked at the Sheridan named Harry, who is an Aries.
Oh.
She said he'd be my type, and she wanted me to meet him. So Sunday night at midnight, we went in to the Sheridan, but he hadn't arrived yet. In the meantime, the guy that Cindy dates named Pete told me I was more beautiful than Lorna.
Oh, no. You should have seen the life just fall out of Aunt Lorna's eyes.
Of course, both Lorna and I laughed. Thank goodness neither one of us is jealous of the other.
That's a brutal comment.
What is?
You can't just say that.
Well, he did. Lorna and I walked out the door to her car just as a taxi pulled up. Taxis were, you called them.
What? I'm not from 1596.
So this taxi pulls up. It's midnight at the Sheridan across from the main mall. Lorna said, there's Harry. There's Harry. By this time, I was opening the driver's door, and Lorna was on the passenger side of her car. Harry got out of the taxi and walked toward the Sheridan door, making him on one side of our car. He said something briefly to Lorna, then he extended his hand to me across the roof of the car, saying, "Beautiful." I repeat, then he extended his hand to me across the roof of the car, saying, "Beautiful." Of course, I loved it. Lorna said, Lorna said, "Harry, that's my sister." And he said, "Well, we'll have to get rid of her, meaning Lorna, and go out sometime." He was more or less kidding, and I was more or less serious when I said, "All right." He was gorgeous, and Lorna was right. He's just my type. Arrogant, self-confident, egocentric, and good-looking. For some reason, a shiver swept through me when I met him.
Wow.
Now, unfortunately for the audience and other people, I don't think I ever went on a date with him. And for me,
So
he was talking about, unfortunately for me, because
he was putting on a show.
He was arrogant.
He was putting on a show.
Yeah.
He was arrogant. He was so wonderful.
But he was an
Arrogant,
Aries.
self-confident, egocentric, and good-looking.
Wow.
That was my type.
That was your type.
I gave Hank my number. Oh, this is December 2nd, 1978. I gave Hank my number, and he said he'd call me the next day, which he did. I wasn't here, but Lorna took the message. And you know what he said to her? "Just mention the name Hank, and she'll know who it is." When Lorna left me my message in the notebook, Lorna said, "I hope his last name isn't Hale." I couldn't figure out why she'd written that, so I asked her, and she replied, "It isn't, is it?" I said, "Yes." She rolled her eyes and proceeded to tell me he'd gone to college with her, and he knew her face, although probably not her name, and she thinks he's a real idiot. Typical Lorna reaction to anyone I date, but also funny.
I don't know who that was.
You remember?
No
You don't
idea
remember?
who that was?
Wow.
No.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So do you have any dating stories you'd like to share?
I didn't date a lot. I didn't really think about.
You dated. And also, you were very interested in a guy I was very interested later, whose nickname was Crunch. Oh,
I will never get over Crunch.
I'm so upset that you were dating him. Or you
I dated him.
Well, you kissed him.
Well, we're writing about
I
Crunch.
kissed
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
We're writing
We're
a
writing
live
our show about this.
about Crunch.
Who was it really?
I don't know his real name.
Is that not his real nickname?
Yeah, that was his real name. Crunch from
Did you
Camp
kiss
Hines.
Crunch?
I don't think I did. Did I?
Oh,
You took a midnight boat ride with
I
Crunch.
did. Yeah, I remember that. But weren't you in the boat?
no.
No.
You'll find out when you see our show.
Yeah, we're doing a live reenactment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you may be in it. We'll be talking about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was like a one-night stand. I couldn't.
A one-night
A
stand?
one-kiss stand.
A one-night stand on a
I'm
boat. A midnight boat ride.
Yeah, but he was magnificent.
He doesn't sound that magnificent. No one has ever said a man named Crunch is magnificent.
I wonder why his nickname was that.
I don't know.
You know
I
who-
loved
you
it.
know
It made
who
me
would
laugh
know?
so hard when
My
I first.
ex-boyfriend would know from high
He
school.
knew him? Oh, okay.
Oh. We gotta have
I'm
him
so
on the
confused that
pod.
I've forgotten the names of all my dates. Number 1.
Oh my god. Well, we can bring out the list. She does have a list.
We should save that for the show.
Yeah.
We got to save that for
Yeah.
the show. I
Well-
read that to Lorna, though.
Oh my god, that
the list
list.
of guys that I've kissed. I think I read it
Yes,
to you.
because I was truly thinking about making my own list.
Maybe we can run through our live show with Aunt Lorna later and see what she thinks. You're a woman of the theater.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
You probably don't want to tell the story about the, speaking of being a woman in the theater, about sitting at the Thomas Playhouse.
Oh, yeah. What happened there? See,
You had
yeah,
surgery. You had surgery on your rear end.
That's right.
Okay, now you gotta tell this story.
Yeah, I had a cyst. But I actually had to go into the hospital and have surgery.
Yeah, it's very serious.
It was very serious.
Oh.
And that was the first year I was going to work at the supermarket too, and I couldn't
How old were you?
do that. I'm like 14. A lot of stuff happened when I was 14.
That is
And what
rough.
happened there also from that surgery is that was when I was ironing a shirt and or somebody was ironing and Gran was there and I fainted.
Well, you were ironing a shirt?
Yes, and hit my lip on the edge of the iron.
Oh, no.
And ended up having to have stitches. That's why I have a scar on my
I've
lip.
never noticed your scar.
Yeah, I had a scar, and the importance of that story was that my grandmother said, "Oh, I hope you don't have a hair lip." After she was making fun of me. Yeah.
Was this Gran?
Yes. But anyway, and the theater part of that was. Oh yes, I remember what happened. It was a very small theater.
Very small. It was theater in the round. So
yeah,
very close
like
to the stage.
6 feet from the stage, and
you couldn't misbehave.
And it was an old
They'd
theater.
know.
And what happened was during the first act, one of the actors sat in one of the seats up front. And I was sitting, I mean, there were only just very few rows, but I'm sitting probably with Lynn, and I probably had my fall on.
I bet you did.
Wait, what's a fall?
A fall is like
a wig, a partial wig.
I wanted long hair.
Okay, yeah.
So I have worn that.
It was like long extensions, but it was all one piece.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I was sitting there, and my seat broke. My seat broke, and I had that surgery, and so for the first, however long I was there, I was like bracing myself on this stage,
trying not to laugh.
So then they have intermission. We talk to the manager, tell them that my seat broke, and he said, "Okay, well, you can sit in this seat." And so, of course, I had this feeling this probably wasn't true, but I was sitting in the seat that the prior first half of the thing, the actor was sitting in. And so I'm thinking, everybody's looking at me, my beautiful fall, and thinking that I'm going to be part of the show, and keep looking at me, wondering when I'm going to be up and be part of the show.
Oh
anyway,
my God. That is so funny.
I just remember sitting there with her, like, that wanting to laugh till you cry feeling.
Yes.
And you've got to be, you had to be really quiet. We were so close to the stage, and
there's nothing like,
you couldn't even like really whisper to somebody, although you must have whispered.
I feel like a sibling too, when something like that happens, it's just, you cannot control it.
Just having to sit there for that whole first act with her, balanced, and she'd been through a hard time.
Oh my God. What are the odds that your seat broke after a butt surgery? It's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought about that for a long time.
Courtney's one of those people that I cannot even look at her if we're in a serious setting. We attended a virtual baby shower during COVID, and we could not look at each other on the screen. Could not stop laughing. Just her existence.
Yes.
I
know that feeling.
I love that. I know that feeling, and I can, believe it or not, I used to be skilled at this, at keeping a straight face.
Yeah.
And
I've never been.
Like, I was in a children's theater in 7th, 8th grade, whatever, and I was part of what they called the chorus at the time. I think it was the Emperor's Nightingale. And so two of us had to say the same words at the same time and stand right next to each other. And I would pinch the other girl's rear end when we were saying our lines. I know that wasn't very funny. Sorry, Faith. Faith is the same person. Maybe I shouldn't say her name, but it won't matter. She was not allowed to hang out with me because her mother found a note where I swore.
I think you talked about
Yeah,
this.
her mother found a note where I swore.
And that's why Aunt Lorna wrote that note about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you swear a lot.
Yeah, you're nasty. You are nasty.
I found it.
You're a nasty old slob.
I found quote from Ozzy's diary where he's distressed about my I'm 25 by then.
Dad never swore.
Oh my god, it's so I love those stories of Ozzy getting mad at you guys as adults. I think it's so funny because she'll tell me a story and I'm like, oh, that's funny, they were kids, and my mom will be like,
I was
40. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh my god. Well, I think this was a great 2-part episode. We're definitely putting this into 2 parts. I think it's probably an hour and a half long. So thank you, Aunt Lorna.
Thank you for inviting me.
This was great. Do you have more material, Mom?
I'm just looking over what I brought.
Do you want to do a bonus story?
A bonus story. Yeah, I think I've got I definitely have a bonus story.
Okay, bonus story. I said goodbye too soon.
I think I probably shouldn't read this for my own sanity, but I'm going to anyway.
Uh-oh. This means it's going to be good.
These two again. January 11th, 1979. So 26.
Okay.
26 and 24. Lorna will remember most of this. I was supposed to pick up Lorna at work and I forgot. Now, really, you don't do that with Lorna. So we all know, Lorna and I know, this is not going to be a happy story. When she called me at 4 p.m., I immediately raced in and was there by 4:10.
Yeah, she lived close.
When she got in the car, she had one of those typical looks on her face, and I could tell she was ugly. I couldn't understand what made her so damn ugly every time some little thing goes wrong. After all, I was only 10 minutes away. Anyway, for some reason, her attitude set me off. I'd been in a great mood all day, but suddenly I was beset with ugliness and craziness myself. As a result, I drove like a madman. I'm here to admit it. On the way home, and Lorna was so mad. I had to drop her off at the mobile station to get her car. Well, we weren't sharing a car then. And as I did so, I asked if she wanted me to wait. She slammed my door, uttering, "Don't bother." With that, I childlessly drove out of the yard very quickly, stopped at the corner store to gorge myself with a candy bar before I got home, which is about a 2-minute drive, walked in the house and announced to my parents that Lorna was an absolutely unreasonable just because I happened to be 10 minutes late. See, if the truth be told, I was setting Lorna up because I knew I'd been out of control with my driving on the way home. I truly don't know what hit me. I truly don't know what hit me. But it was a mixture of anger and my usual bad impulses, which don't very often show when I'm with others.
Oh my God.
When Lorna came into the house, she wouldn't even speak to me. And then she told Mom and Dad that her feelings at that moment were hatred, that I was crazy, and it made her sick to look at me. I made Lorna look like a fool by responding in a very casual, don't laugh, act like an asshole manner. Well, within a half hour, she was once again speaking to me, but I never apologized and probably never will.
That's pretty funny. Because what I remember about that, I thought that I had walked in and said, "Lee tried to kill me."
That was another time.
Oh.
We could tell that one too.
Wait, do you want to take this time to apologize?
I think I just did. I think I admitted it. I'm very sorry I did that to you. I said it so outright there, like I set you up. I used those
That
words.
was psychopath behavior where you're like, I put on a nice tone of voice.
Yeah. But the weird thing is that I wrote that.
Yeah, you're weird.
Well, you knew that you were.
Yeah.
You really knew that you could have.
You felt guilty, so you wrote this.
Yeah.
This letter to yourself. Yeah.
Wow.
You're looking very serious. So another time, we were sharing a car. And Lorna, it's funny about memories too, because I thought this next story that we'll tell you, I thought it was the same as that one. It was a separate one. So I got to pick Lorna up at work, which is Congress Street in Portland.
You're late again?
Late again. Not by a lot, but by some amount.
Yeah, it was
slushy, slippery, and Lorna had, without permission, worn Annie's, I don't know how you describe the coat, expensive, not real fur, but it was white.
It was a white wool winter coat.
Yeah.
It was long.
It was fancy.
It was nice.
And so she gets in the car. She's in a bad mood, and Cameron's in the back seat. And she gets in the car because, did you get in the back seat?
No, I got in the front seat on the passenger side.
All right, she gets in the front seat. And we had this old Toyota, I think.
Yes.
And that we shared, which went fairly well most of the time.
Kind of rusty.
Yeah. The relationship of the car.
Well, that day.
Yeah, that day both. And so again, she's like, I can't believe you made me wait. And I'm like, oh God. So I start driving fast. Obviously my reaction to any tension with my sister was to start driving like a maniac. I go through a puddle fast.
Oh no.
We're on Franklin, you know where you go on Franklin Street,
Yeah.
you're going to get on 295.
Yeah.
It's kind of a dip there.
Yeah.
And so it was like ice and mud and sleet and stuff. Yeah, so she goes through it.
And tell her what happened.
Very fast. She's going too fast. Well, the force of her going fast and the rust of the car and how much water was already there on Franklin Street blew out the bottom of the passenger side car.
What?
So,
like the Flintstones car.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And so it all goes over my head into the back seat. Uncle Cam's in the back seat.
Oh.
And it's dripping. And I have on my mother's white coat that she doesn't even know I have.
Oh
on.
my God.
And I think that all three of Lynn has to continue driving, but I think that I don't know what was said. I know that I don't think I've ever been as mad at her.
Oh,
as I was
my God.
that day because she was reckless. She was late. She was reckless and late, and I have on my mother's white coat.
Oh my God.
And that's the day you went in the house
And said, Lynn tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Was she wrong?
You know, I don't remember this as clearly.
Murder was afoot.
Apparently, I didn't write about it. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, talk about taking all of a sudden just trying to twist things a little bit and being manipulative. Just like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I'll show you for being in a bad mood.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, as if speeding up the car would make a huge difference.
We're 20s. We're in our mid-20s.
Oh my God.
And I feel like
I'd love to hear Uncle Cam's perspective from the back seat because that must have been pretty funny to watch you two fighting.
And then,
so.
and
Oh
he
my God.
He would have been in his early 20s or
He
late
must have
teens.
he must have ate that up.
Yeah.
Well, he probably was covered with mud and snow and stuff at that point. Oh my God.
Yeah. He probably wanted to laugh, but he wouldn't.
He was scared.
He was scared.
I was driving like a madman, and
Lorna's energy shifted.
I don't want to be around Lorna, which is usually you get real silent though.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do that
mad.
too. I need to contemplate for a second.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, disgusting too.
Yeah.
One time I was in Boston waiting for the train to come near my apartment, and it was one of those days. It was like slushy, snowy, disgusting, and there was a huge puddle next to the train stop, and I looked at it, and I was with my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, I don't even want to know what's in that puddle. And not even 5 seconds after, this truck goes by, purposely puts down his plow.
Did it on purpose?
Yes, because it was like the streets were clear except for the puddles. Like he put his plow down, goes through the puddle. Every single one of us at the train stop just like dripping like in my mouth. I was like, well, this is how I die. I was just like, what is in that puddle? I found out very quickly. And we had to turn, we had gotten like all dressed up to go out that night, and we just turned right back around back to the apartment.
Did you end up going back out?
No. Oh no, that was nothing kills the mood like getting covered in a city puddle.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, as you know. I think we should plan something where we get her covered in a city puddle.
I thought my apologies would do it now.
Yeah, that is brutal.
Yeah.
And very funny.
Yeah.
What did Annie say? What was Annie?
My poor parents, because I read my diaries and some of Ozzy's diaries when we were adults living there. I mean, they wanted it. My father didn't say, I wish they'd get the heck out of there. He did say something like, I wish Lynn would take the initiative to do some things on her own. It's not like I was 14. You know?
Well, there used to be these lists of things that for us to do.
Do you blame them? I mean,
no.
We were just like, Lorna was...
All three of you
Lorna
lived there in your 20s?
Lorna was watching TV and smoking a cigarette up in her room. She didn't come out. Or down in your room. You had the cellar room for a while.
Yes, I actually...
Ooh, that's cool.
Well, I couldn't live with Lynn anymore in a room.
So you moved to the basement?
I had a room. I requested that a room be built for me in the basement.
What?
It wasn't a finished basement. And what I did was we had a piano, an old junky piano. I just decided at one point I am not living with Lynn anymore in this room. There's space in the basement, and I think So I went down. I had cement. I had one little window, a cellar window,
like a prison cell.
And I had
it was better than
it was. Yeah, but I also had my wall was the back of that piano. So I put a bed down there.
Oh my god.
And for Christmas that year, my grandfather, who actually died later that year, but he actually was a sheep. He could do sheetrock. He actually built two sides there, put a door in,
I forgot
put
that
a
he
little
was the one
closet, and then I asked my parents for a floor for Christmas, and they bought me a navy blue carpet.
Wow.
And
I was going to say, I bet you made it so cozy. I bet it looked cozy.
He had put in like a little dressing table there.
Wow.
And actually, you moved down there. You lived in the basement for a period of time.
Because I had a fight with my mother and I locked the door. And they had to crawl. My mother had insisted that we cut out a crawl space in the closet in case the furnace blew up.
To get out, it's like a fire exit.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't. It was
5x8 room.
This little 5x8 room, but and Annie was trying to crawl in through the fire door to talk to me again
because you were fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, she was crying,
and I wouldn't open the door.
Her whole body, I think.
I think she got in there.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
That's so funny. Wow. Yeah. Well, that was a great bonus story. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You got anything else? Any last minute shares?
No, I've probably still got stories.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have you back on here again.
We're going to at some point. We've got Lorna and I still have some stories. One of them is about a book we wrote together.
Yes, that's gonna be exciting. That's gonna be exciting. I feel like we should play it.
Oh,
yeah.
Play the game.
Play the game. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
All right. Well,
we could play the original. Actually, I have all the questions.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. We can see if we remember any facts.
That will be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for joining our third episode of our second season. Well, this may be the third and the fourth episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Aunt Lorna.
Oh, this was fun.
Yeah, this was
I
fun.
hope you forgive me. Yes, I do.
You heard it here. She hath been forgiven. Okay. Bye. Okay, thank you for listening to part 2 of our episode with my Aunt Lorna, and I'm sorry this took me forever to put out. It's been crazy, but I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you hopefully in a couple of weeks with a new episode.